Hey, Jamie Hartley here again from Crossfader, and in today's tutorial video we're going to break down what mixing in key is. Now, mixing in key can be quite important when it comes to planning, preparing and performing your DJ sets. We're going to break down just what the theory behind mixing in key is, but more importantly how to actually find out the key of a track in your piece of DJ software and then figure out what tracks will work with one another and what will mix in key. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff to help us keep making videos like this. A piano is a great instrument to fully understand what a key is. Each note on the piano has a different label. There is also a reason why there are 3 black notes followed by 2 black notes and then 3 again and so on. The white key just to the left of any 2 black keys is a C note. This is middle C on a piano. But this is also a C note, and so is this. The notes in between make up a scale in music. This one is C major. Every major key also has a minor equivalent. A minor is what you call the harmonic equivalent to C major. A minor uses all the same notes as C major, but starts at the A note instead of the C note. Don't worry if you already feel lost, because you won't need to remember all of this. It's just useful to try and understand what a key is before we try a mixing key. As a piece of music is produced, it will stick to the notes on the piano that correlate to the key it's in. A song produced in C major would mix harmonically with a song produced in A minor. There are also 2 other keys that will theoretically mix harmonically with C major. These are G major and F major. This is because it uses all but one of the same keys on the piano as C major. Thanks to DJ software, we don't need to have perfect pitch and be able to know the key of a song just from listening to it. There is a handy tool called the Camelot Wheel which you can find on Google. This maps out all of the different keys onto a handy clock face. This notation can be found in Serato DJ Pro and also a third-party software called Mixed in Key, which we'll look at very shortly. All you need to know is there are a few simple rules to follow with the Camelot Wheel. Back to our example of C major. This is 8B on the Camelot Wheel. Now, to mix harmonically, you can either stay the exact same, mixing 8B to 8B, or stay on the same number but change letter, 8B to 8A, or stay on the same letter but go up or down one number, 8B to 7B, or 8B to 9B. Why is this useful? Well, it's much easier to imagine a clock face in your mind than memorize which keys match with others. The software Mixed in Key can analyze your music and attach this Camelot notation to the comments tag of any particular track. There are then instructions on how to show this Camelot notation in various DJ softwares. Serato can analyze the keys and show it in this Camelot notation itself without the Mixed in Key software. If you can't see the Camelot notation in Serato, then check your settings and make sure you're not on classical, for example. In Rekordbox, you could use Mixed in Key and have the Camelot notation appear in the track's comments box. You can also analyze the keys in Rekordbox software itself, however it shows them in classical format. To find what mixes in key, you would need to use Related Tracks playlist here. If we take a quick look at the settings of this playlist, you can see that the key box is checked. This means it will show all of the songs in your collection that match the master player's key. If you're using CDJs that are linked with an Ethernet cable or an XDJ RX2, for example, then as you're going through a playlist, it will have a green icon next to tracks that will mix in key. Just note this reads whatever the master deck currently is. Alternatively, you could go into the key sort options, and again, the relevant key will be highlighted green. In there, you can see which other keys match and even sort them by BPM. Traktor has its own version of the Camelot Wheel with a slightly different notation. The principle is still exactly the same though. A quick tip though, you can click the search icon next to the key to show all the tracks in your library that will mix in key with that one. So now you know where to find out the key of a song and also how to decipher which songs will mix with one another in your piece of DJ software. The next thing to think about is, should you always mix in key? Now, this is a big question and it's a big discussion topic in the DJ industry. So I'm going to give some of my opinions. The first thing to think about is mixing in key will sound great. It sounds much nicer than if you were to mix something that isn't in key because it just works. It sounds much more pleasing to the ear. At the same time though, imagine you're mixing drum loop into drum loop. Now, drum loops don't have, 90% of them don't have much harmonic or melodic information in them. The drum pattern doesn't go up or down notes, it stays consistent. So if you're mixing a drum loop into a drum loop, 90% of the time there isn't going to be much clash in the harmonics of the tracks. It's only when the melody starts, i.e. the bass line or the vocals, is when, if one bass line and one vocal aren't in key with one another, that's when they're going to clash and they're not going to sound great. So maybe you just alter the way you mix slightly. If you're mixing a track that's not in key with another track, maybe just focus on the drum loop intro and mix out of the other track before loads of melodic information starts to appear. However, if you're planning a DJ set from start to finish, if you're planning a mini mix or a routine, try and think about what works in key. It also helps you to plan the set as well, because it gives you suggestions of what might work with one track over another. The last tip I have is if you're in the moment, playing at a club or a party or a night, and you feel like you want to play a certain track next because the crowd are going to enjoy it, then go for it. Don't let maybe it not being in the same key put you off playing that track next. Just think about how you're going to mix it. Even something like an echo out and dropping the track straight in might be a better way of mixing in that particular environment. Use mixing in key not as a strict rule, but as a creative tool to enhance your DJ sets. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any comments, please drop them below and remember to subscribe. I'll see you in another tips video very soon.